Hey, good morning. I hope that you worked on math yesterday on Education Galaxy and watched that Brain Pop video on saving and spending, because this week we're going to be working on what's called personal financial literacy, which means it's all about money and the things that we do with it. Let's get started. If you have not yet opened your book to lesson 16.2, I want you to go ahead and do that now, because that's where we're going to get started. Lesson 16.2. Push pause if you need to. All right, in your math book on lesson 16.2, that's page 857, we're going to start together. Today's lesson is called Building Savings Over Time. Did you know you can build money by saving it over time, and then you have a larger amount to spend in the end? If you don't spend it all at once, it'll just keep building. Anna saved 12 cents in week 1, 8 cents in week 2, 26 cents in week 3, and 10 cents in week 4. How much did she save in all 4 weeks? Show how you found your answer. Well, I know that she saved 12 cents in week 1, so I'm going to write 12. 8 cents in week 2, so I'm going to write 8. 26 cents in week 3, so I'm going to write 26. And 10 cents in week 4, so I'm going to write 10. And the question asks us, how much did she save in all 4 weeks? So we're thinking mathematically, what would I need to do to find out how much she saved in all? If you said add, then you got it. We're going to add these all together to find the total amount, how much she saved in all. Now, one thing I could do would be to stack them and add them. So I could list them going like this. And that's always a super handy tool. That's what we call our standard algorithm, in which we line up our ones places with our ones places and our tens places with our tens places. That's a great way to do it. But I know that some of y'all like to use mental math. Some of you like to look at it like this and give yourself a challenge. So if I were doing it like that, you know what I know about 12 and 8? I know that together that makes a group of 20. And if I added 10 more to 20, you got it. That would be 30. So now I can add 30 to 26, because this is 20 and this is 10. So that's 30 altogether. And I'm going to put that with my 26. Well, I know if I'm adding on to 0, I'm still going to have 6 in the ones place, because 6 and 0 is just still 6. And so I need to think about 3 tens and 2 tens. Well, if I put together, that would be 5 tens for a total of 56. And then I'm going to follow that by the cent sign to make it say cents. Now, if you wanted to use standard algorithm, that's a great way to do it too. Looky here, I would start by adding in the ones place. 2 and 8 makes 10. I love groups of 10. You know that about me. And if I add 6 more, well, that would be 16. And of course, if I don't add anything on my 0 value, I'm still going to have 16. Now, to make it say 16, I'm going to say that's one group of 10 and 6 ones. Remember how that still says 16? It just says it a little different. Now I can add. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more makes 5. That says that she saved 56 cents over those 4 weeks. It's the exact same thing I got when I added it in a different way. 56 cents. Isn't math great? We can all use a different strategy, still get the same answer. So if you would, go ahead and turn to the next page while I turn this over. And let's look together at more personal financial literacy. I'm sorry, there's a glare on it. It says, I'm going to look up here at this box in red just for an example, because we're going to be using a graph this time. This one is called a bar graph because it's using bars to represent data. George made a bar graph to show the money he saved for 6 months. So check it out. George's savings, dollar saved, month, and then it's January, February, March, April, May, and June. Now, when we were doing the last one, we were talking about cents saved, but this is dollars saved. This is a different amount. Okay, in January, when I read that bar graph, I can tell that in January he saved $3. In February, he saved $7. In March, check it out. I look for the number and I kind of sketch my way across. I see that he saved $5. And in April, $6. In May, let's see, that's $4. In June is $10. I see lots of groups of 10. I see 10 sitting by itself here. But I also see that 6 and 4 is a nice group of 10. And I know that 3 and 7 is a nice group of 10. So here's 10. And here's 10. And there's 10. That's 10, 20, 30. And then there's 5. That's easy to add on. 30 and 5 more. 35. So if they were asking us how much did he save in all 6 months, wow, he saved $35. And I put the dollar sign in front. Remember, the cent sign comes after, but the dollar sign comes in front. But you know what? I was getting ahead of myself because they weren't even asking me how much did he save in all. Oh, actually they did. How much money did George save in 6 months? And we found that the total amount was $35. Dollar sign in front. Now this one says, how much more money does George have at the end of June than at the end of January? Wow, he has a lot more, because how much does he have at the end of June? He has $35. How much did he have at the end of January? He only had $3. To find out how much more, I would need to subtract to find the difference. $35 is how much he has in all. Take away the $3 that he had saved at the end of January, gives us a difference of $32. George has $32 more at the end of June. Do you see how by saving over all those months, his money has grown, it has accumulated. He has more money now than he did then. Let's practice. In which month did George save the greatest amount of money? So I'm looking here. Which month did he save the greatest amount of money? That's easy to see. It was June. June has the greatest or the longest bar. So I know he saved the most money in June. In which month did George save the least amount of money? Well, if the longest bar was the most, then the shortest bar is going to be the least. And the shortest bar happened in January. But thankfully, he didn't give up in January. He kept saving, and now he has a nice little amount. Number 2 says, how much more money did George save in June than in January? Well, how much did he save in June? He saved $10. How much did he save in January? He saved $3. If I want to know how much more, I'm looking to see how far those two amounts are spread apart. I'm subtracting. 10, take away 3. 10, 9, 8, 7. He saved $7 more in June than he did in January. Gosh, I love this. We're working with bar graphs. That's super easy. You're going to turn to the next page, and this is where your assignment begins. You're going to use this bar graph called Sharon's Savings to answer 3, 4, 5, and 6. So let's start with Sharon's Savings. I see month, July, August, September, October, November, December, and I see dollars saved. So let's take a peek at that. Look at your book and find out how many dollars did she save in July. Well, this is another bar graph, but this is what we call a horizontal bar graph because it's going side to side. And I can see, I like to mark that little end, kind of draw my line down. Okay, I see that she saved $9 in July. And I like to go ahead and label my information so I can have it when I'm starting on my questions. Let's find out August. Let's see, August. It looks like $8 in August. September, I'm going to follow my bar out, mark it, kind of bring it down. That's $10. Uh-oh, October, she only saved $2. What happened, Sharon? November, okay, she made it up. November, she saved $12. And then December, she saved $10. Can you use that information to answer the questions? Push pause if you need to. And then we're going to look at the back side where you have a few more problems. Number 7 says Joe saved $23 by walking dogs. Rosa saved $15 by raking leaves. How much more money did Joe save than Rosa? How much more? Tells us again, we're looking for the difference in the two amounts. We're looking to see how far they're spread apart. To find the difference, I'm going to start with the larger number, and I'm going to take away the smaller number to find out the difference in the two. How much more? Now, stacking and subtracting is always a good way to go about solving this. Make sure your ones are lined up with your ones, your tens are lined up with your tens. Subtract starting in that ones place to find your answer. You'll solve number 8 and number 9 as well. I just want to look with you at number 10. Judy saved $8 each week for 3 weeks. Mo saved $4 each week for 6 weeks. Who saved more money? And then it says explain. Explain is when we use our words to tell about the problem. So again, Judy saved $8 each week for 3 weeks. So I'm going to write J for Judy. And if she saved $8 each week for 3 weeks, that's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks will tell us how much money she saved. Mo saved $4 each week for 6 weeks. So I'm going to put M for Mo. $4 for 6 weeks. So that's 4 groups of 6, or 6 groups of 4. 4, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, and I'm running out of room. You might want to write smaller than me. So you're going to find out how much Judy saved, how much Mo saved, and then answer the question, who saved more money? We could say Judy saved more money, Mo saved more money, or maybe they saved the same amount of money. And then explain to me, how do you know? Tell me in your words how you know. You're going to do a great job. Text me or call me if you need me.